Well, good morning, Rise Shine, and let's give God all of the glory on this beautiful day. We want to thank you for tuning in to one of the Tabernacle Praise Morning Devotion, and we are so excited to share the word of the Lord with you on this morning. We're going to turn to the book of Ezekiel, chapter number 3, and we're going to look at verse number 15. Ezekiel, chapter number 3, and verse number 15, and it reads, Then I came to them of the captivity of Tel Aviv that dwelt by the river of Chebar, and I sat where they sat, and remained there astonished among them for 7 days. The Bible said that God had sent Ezekiel to a people, and God made it plain that he was sending Ezekiel to a people who would not hearken, who would not listen to him because they refused to listen to God. But God made his face strong against these people. And the Bible said that Ezekiel went out and he was unwilling to go to these people. The Bible said that he was bitter in spirit, but he went, and the Bible said that he sat where they sat. And I like to entitle this devotion this morning, I sat where they sat. If somebody in our present get wounded, the first thing that we are going to try to do is we're going to try to give them medical attention or get them to a place where they can receive medical attention. But when somebody get wounded spiritually, instead of giving them spiritual attention that they need, what we do is we kill people when they are wounded. The church is the only institution, and people say it quite often, that kill their wounded. When someone is spiritually wounded, instead of killing them, if we sat where they sat, if we put ourselves in their position and we looked at their situation through their eyes, then we wouldn't be so quick to kill them. The Bible said that God sent Ezekiel to a people to give them a message. But before Ezekiel began to preach to the people, the Bible said he sat where they sat. And that's very important. Before we give people words, before we try to preach to people, before we try to correct them, why not sit where they sat? Why not see the situation through their eyes? And if we're going to be great leaders, we have to learn to see life through the people that we are leading eyes. If we can only see life from where we are, then we won't be effective leaders. But Ezekiel said, I sat where they sat. And the Bible said that he was astonished. And he sat there for 7 days. And we know that 7 is the complete number of God in the Bible. So Ezekiel sat there until the message was complete, till he understood completely what the people was going through. And we are so quick to judge. We are so quick to point our fingers at individuals when they make a mistake. When we look at their lives and we see what they're going through. But instead of pointing our finger, instead of judging, we have to look at the situation vicariously. We have to look at it through their eyes. And Ezekiel said, I sat where they sat. I didn't go to them trying to correct them and to judge them, but I set myself in their situation. I placed myself and I began to look around. And now I understood clearly, the prophet said, what the people was going through. And if you and I are going to lead people, if we're going to be leaders, if we're going to be believers that lead people to Christ, we have to put ourselves in their position. Paul said it like this. He said, to the Jews, I became Jews. To the weak, I became weak, that I may gain the weak. To those that were without law, I became without law, that I may gain those without the law. Paul said, I became all things to all men, that I may save some. And if you and I are to win the world, regain the lost souls back to Christ, If we are going to win the people of God, then we have to put ourselves in their place and be empathetic and look at the situation through the eyes of the people that are going through what they're going through. Not judge them, not try to correct them so quickly, but just sit where they sit, and try to understand what they're going through instead of criticizing them based on what they're going through. Ezekiel said, I was astonished when I sat where they sat. See, we don't understand what people are going through until sometime we have to experience that thing for ourselves. But once we experience that thing and we know what people are going through, then we won't be so quick to judge. We have to sit where they sat. We have to put ourselves mentally in that position to understand. We have to see life through their eyes and just have a conversation with them. Just talk to them and say, well, explain to me what you're going through. And once we learn to see things from the way that people see things, then we won't be so quick to judge. Well, we want to thank you again for tuning in to One Tabernacle Praise Morning Devotion. And as always, we are delighted to share the word of the Lord with you. We'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.